So the sons of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tim Robbins get together to make a psychological horror movie. Well, not their sons together, like their kids, they're separate children. That'd be weird. Ugh. Well, this should be interesting. Daniel Isn't Real is brought to us by director Adam Egypt Mortimer, whose previous efforts were Some Kind of Hate and Holidays. It stars Miles Robbins, son of Tim, Patrick Schwarzenegger, son of Arnold, and Sasha Lane, son of... I don't know. We follow the emotionally detached Luke, played by Robin. And why is he emotionally detached? Well, because he had a really fucked up childhood, that's why. His mom was fucking insane and got sent to a nut house when he was younger. So living with a crazy person made life a little difficult during his formative years. Though we do wonder, as does Luke, some of that crazy might have rubbed off on him too. You see, when Luke was younger, he had an imaginary friend named Daniel. He and Daniel did everything together. They were the best of friends, and he was essentially Luke's coping mechanism for all the crazy shit going on in his life. However, Daniel starts to tell Luke to do some kind of messed up stuff. He does some things, some bad shit happens, he gets in trouble, and he's forced to subconsciously lock Daniel away. Fast forward 10 or 15 years, and Luke is an emotionally wrecked college student. Through a course of events, things get pretty tough, and he unknowingly frees Daniel, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger. Upon doing this, all seems right again. He's got a newfound confidence. Daniel's there to help him through all these situations that he's been fighting to get through his whole life up to this point. He's going to parties, he's meeting girls, he feels real confident about himself. All is good. Until it's not, because Daniel, real or not, has some issues of his own. For fear of spoilers, that's about as far as I'll go with the story, but just know that things do escalate. This movie was quite the mindfuck. You spend the vast majority of the time not really knowing what is and is not real. Now, you think you know what is and is not real for the first part of the movie, but then you really start to question things as the story unfolds. And that feeling lasts pretty much all the way to the end. The ending of this movie isn't necessarily left open, but what all was going on the whole time is left a little bit to interpretation. You know that there's one or two ways that this was going, but you're never 100% sure of which one that was. And while I do enjoy finality in a movie and knowing 100% what happened, with this movie, honestly, I really liked it. Ambiguity with the film's ending is difficult to land, but Daniel Isn't Real actually does a very good job with it. The story does allow you to decide what was really going on. In that, it gives you moments that can reinforce your view either way. It was a clever movie told in a very interesting way with some fantastic performances. While the performances are good all around, Robbins gives us a good character to relate with and latch onto. You really feel for this kid and want things to go his way. Sasha Lane also has a great turn as a romantic interest in the movie and redeems herself from the god-awful Hellboy earlier last year. As stated before, while everybody here does a great job, the one that stands out above all the rest would have to be Patrick Schwarzenegger's Daniel. His character is confident, super cool, and suave through and through, and he's also a raving fucking lunatic. Schwarzenegger is channeling his inner Patrick Bateman here, and he's doing a great job at it. He even kind of looks like it. From a technical standpoint, everything's really good here as well. There's some really great cinematography here and some very creative use of editing. The way this movie is shot tells a story just as much as the people on screen. The subtle yet effective editing techniques they employ here further drive home the fact that Luke is probably out of his fucking mind. Or maybe he's not. We don't really know. Daniel is visible to the audience for the vast majority of the movie when Luke's speaking with him. But obviously, because he's his imaginary friend, nobody else can see. So it's kind of jarring when the movie all of a sudden removes Daniel from the scene, but Luke is still speaking to him. We all of a sudden see how crazy he looks to the rest of the world. It's a small little detail, but it does make all the difference in the world and us seeing him the way the rest of the world does. The special effects as a whole, while limited, are all pretty good. There is one shot in the end where I think they maybe overextended themselves just a little bit too much. And while it does stand out, it's fairly quick and it doesn't detract from the experience. Guys, there's not a whole lot more I can say about this movie without giving too much away. Just know that it is a great look at mental illness while still being intriguing and entertaining to watch. You're not always 100% sure of what's real and what's not, but I think that goes along with what the main character Luke is feeling. And while exactly what's going on is left a bit open to interpretation, regardless of which way you decide that it's all actually working out, it's still really entertaining and the story allows these different ways to work. I had a really good time with Daniel Isn't Real. It's a bit of a mindfuck and it's a little kooky, but once I started it, I was totally enthralled and I think you will too, and Daniel Isn't Real is absolutely worth a rent. It's probably only a one-time watch, but that one time is going to be a very interesting watch. So there it is, guys, my review of Daniel Isn't Real. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.
here because you're here. I'm part of you.
I just realized it, but this movie's story is really reminiscent of like a horror version of Drop Dead Fred. Holy shit, it's got like a lot of similarities to that movie. If you haven't seen Drop Dead Fred, go check it out. It's kind of fucked up in its own right.